first off, I'd like to say thank you very much to our sponsors. You guys, we've got a great lineup of sponsors that are promoting this event. Or series of events, and I'm really excited about everybody that we're partnering with. First off, Goodman, Deichen 3D, Deichen Home Comfort, Amana, Universal Supply Group, Rouse Supply Group, American Universal, S&A. You guys are absolute powerhouses, and I appreciate you taking the time to work with us on bringing an absolutely incredible training series to all of your dealers. You guys, this is an awesome opportunity to learn different techniques and strategies to be able to grow your business. We're focused on growth. We're focused on achieving accelerated results, and that's really where this comes from. This is not our first rodeo. We've been doing business with within the HVAC industry for about a half a decade. We've been doing business in the digital environment with over 150 different industries for over a decade. I'm Jennifer Bagley. I'm the CEO of CI Web Group, and we are going to get started, you guys. All right. I'm going to bounce around a little bit. You guys are going to get familiar with my training styles. Sometimes I move a little bit fast, and that's okay because everything is recorded. If you haven't registered for training so that you get the notifications, definitely do that. You can do that by going to ciwebgroup.com/training. You can go to 12steproadmap.com, and you can click on the HVAC Dealer Training Series. You guys can also go to CI HVAC, and if you're on the call today, everyone that is attending the training session or listening to this video, you guys have an opportunity to sign up for a free listing on cihvac.com, which is our new dealer directory. So that being said, Bob, thank you so much. I know you heavily participated. Same thing with Lisa at Amana. You guys really heavily participated in bringing this all together. So thank you very, very much, and the USG group. Again, I'm Jennifer Bagley. I'm focused on helping you achieve accelerated results. People ask what I am. I'm a business strategist and a growth coach. So I teach businesses how to grow. Bottom line is, in 1,000 days from now, our kids are going to be our next employee, our employer, our client, or better yet, our competition. And we have to think about what are the technologies that are being used in today's environment. This is really an awesome time. You know, technology is taking hold of the way that we research, the way that we buy, the way that we refer, the way that we communicate, the way that we stay in touch with our clients, our families, our children, and so forth. And so we have to figure out, how do we leverage technology in order to convert time to cash? I love the HVAC industry because I love seeing business owners who are multi-generational, second, third, fourth generations that have been building powerhouse companies. You know, whether you are a startup and you're just getting started, or you guys have a very large business and you're covering, multiple areas and so forth, the game's the same. When it comes to how people want to interact, the only difference is the place they want to do that is different. So again, we're going to concentrate on how to leverage technology to convert time to cash. There are different buyer personas, and you have a matter of seconds to intercept that particular prospect and convert them into your customer. Perceptions are crazy. So I want you to think about this. If you had the opportunity to go on the biggest sales appointment ever, who are you going to send? And when you send them, what kind of coaching are you going to give them? Maybe it's you that's going on that sales appointment. You've got the opportunity to do a huge commercial install. It's 100 ductless units or whatever that looks like. Whatever's important to you. You've got a new development starting, new construction, and you get to do every unit in the entire development. Whatever your biggest presentation is, think about that. And think about the advice you would give someone. I assume you would tell them something like, I want you to look your best. I want you to be completely prepared. I want you to have something that's a wow factor, something that's going to be different than what everybody else is doing. So maybe it's we've got a snazzy video that we've created. Maybe it's that you've got a section on your website that has all of the user manuals and documentation, or a awesome online customer support platform that you're going to show them, and so forth. So you've got to have something, right? When you sit down for a presentation, you want to look your best. You want to show that other people endorsed you, and so forth. The challenge in the HVAC industry really that kind of throws me off a little bit is when we go through a sales presentation and we know that we have to give our very, very best presentation, yet we have our number one sales tool out there that's working while you sleep, while you eat, while you're on vacation, while you're working on the business, while you're doing an install. Your number one sales tool that's out there showcasing who you are, what you do, what you believe in, what other people think about you, how much you know, and so forth, is your website. And we don't always hold the highest standards for our website, which is technically no different than you as a company owner or you as a sales professional, account representative, or technician that's in somebody's home that is presenting to your ideal prospect. This is one of those times you have to have that conversation with yourself. If you go to your website, and I've heard people refer to it, and I can't even say it looks like an ugly baby. I had somebody say that the other day and it cracked me up. But if you built it yourself, or a friend or a family member or the guy from your networking group or the local business down the street that there's a couple of people in there, and you know that it's not top notch, then it's not your best sales presentation. So we really want to take time and make sure that we're leveraging that. Timing, offensive versus defensive. You guys are in an interesting industry because reviews matter. And the last thing you want to do is have to get into a defensive standpoint. You always want to be on offense. That means you're prepared. You're one step ahead of the game, that you take the necessary steps to properly position your business if somebody's looking for your company space reviews. If somebody goes and you know what, let's get out of the presentation. Let's go look at some real world stuff, because I think this is more important. So let me give you some ideas. So if somebody goes to, and I'll just show you for my company, CI Web Group Reviews. If somebody refers you, they send you a referral. So internet marketing is not all about just simply getting on page one of Google and positioning yourself. It's also about properly positioning yourself for referrals. Your number one asset in your guys' business is the referral from an existing client, a past client, a strategic partner, the plumber down the street, whoever that is. So you want to make sure you protect your number one asset first, which means if somebody's going to Google and they're typing in your company name and reviews, what does that look like? And do you guys play an active role in properly positioning your own business? I had a gentleman, he said before, he was like, well, I know I don't lose people because when they don't go to Google and they look at reviews. Everyone goes to Google and looks at reviews, and they simply type in your brand name, your company name, and they type in the word reviews after it. A lot of times a silly mistake web companies do is they create a section on their site called testimonials, and that's great. That's fine for the front end of your site, but they don't optimize your website for the word reviews. And if you were to optimize your website for the word reviews, you'll notice this is Dallas Web Designer Reviews, CI Web Group Reviews. This is CI Web Group Reviews, insurance brokers, somebody else. These are all of the videos that we have of clients talking about how great we are, and so forth. So reviews are important. You want to make sure that's properly set. From an offensive and defensive strategy, let me show you something else. So you have companies out there that are competing with you many ways. So from a digital standpoint, over this series, which this is all year, you guys, this is the first training, so I'm giving you kind of a real powerful session to give you some focal points, but we're going to dive into each one of these so you have a better understanding of them. When it comes to search engine optimization, which is the placement of your website, so if somebody is going to Google and they're typing in oil to gas conversions, wrappingers, and they're looking in New Jersey, for example, what we want to see is a page one organic listing that has your company. So you'll notice here we've got Folks Heating. This is one of our clients. Love them. I think I saw Linda and Dustin on the call, so welcome you guys. Also next, Folks Heating. Then we have additional listings. So we're using CI Web Group. We're using CI HVAC to be able to move those down. From a timing standpoint, you don't want to wait, because some things in Google's environment we can't increase or we can't push. So for example here, these are the total links. One of the things that Google cares about is, do other people trust you? No different Then offline, if you're talking to a prospect and they may want to say, can I have a couple references? Google wants the same thing. So you always are going to have an agency that's building those references, and they're called backlinks or social signals, or the combination of both. But this is what you want to see. Now, you can't race this. What you can't do is you can't have it skyrocket up to here to compete with these guys. These are their competitors. You've got to constantly be moving upwards, but you can't skyrocket, otherwise you get in trouble for that on Google. So that's another thing where timing is important. Sitting on the fence, waiting to make a decision to jump into the technical air is definitely not something that's beneficial. And I'm skipping slides because I think this is important. This says get with the program. Consumers are ahead of dealers. Dealers are ahead of distributors. Manufacturers are trying to help dealers and distributors meet consumers where they are. If I'm blessed to be a speaker. If you go to Google and for example, type in Amana brand dealers, and if you just click on videos, it'll give you an idea. So here's a bunch of speaking videos that we've done just at the Amana Champions Conference. Now, I show you this because it is very, very important that from a dealer standpoint, you have a good understanding of how your buyers search, how they even come to find a company like yours. So think about you as a consumer. If I were to ask you in the last 12 months, how many of you have found a new business or made a purchase because of a door hanger? And I'm going to eliminate pizza, oil changes, and restaurant coupons. Okay, I got those. They do work. But any other business, door hangers, billboards, postcards, mailers, flyers, conference brochure, people don't buy that way. And you can, I'm asking real people in these speaking events, how do you make your buying decisions? If you're going to get a new roof, if you're going to put in new flooring, if you're going to buy a new car, what do you do? Typically, people buy two ways. A, they ask for a referral. B, they go to the internet and they Google it. They go to the internet and they Google it. So if they're going to the internet and they're Googling it, or they get a referral and then they go Google it, what are they finding? Is it you, or are you the one that shows up? And that is where you need to meet them. Also, referrals take place differently. Many times on my Facebook account, I'll be logged in and I'll see somebody saying, hey, you guys, I'm remodeling my kitchen. Anybody know somebody that does countertops? I definitely have seen, and I've been there and done that. When I came back from our houseboat in Seattle this summer, came back, our AC unit totally gone upstairs and downstairs. First thing I did, because I didn't even have a distributor or a dealer inside the Dallas Metroplex at that point. So I went on my Facebook account and said, I need a referral to a reputable HVAC company. Anybody have one? And I got 3 referrals, wound up Googling all of them. Only 2 of them could I find online. The other one you couldn't figure out who they were. And so we have to get with the program. Your prospects are doing research online. They're getting a reference check online, the validity of your business online. They're getting third-party endorsements. They're looking at reviews. So are you positioning yourself properly? A lot of times when I talk to businesses and we're visiting about what works, what doesn't work, why they're not doing those things, I definitely understand the challenge. A huge challenge you guys have is all of you. When you go to dealer meetings, you go to dealer conferences, everybody starts throwing around ideas. And actually, I'm going to flip over to that. Everyone starts throwing out ideas on what you should focus on. And it's not that everybody's sharing ideas of what works, but they're sharing ideas on things that they think will work. And these are really good salespeople on the other end of these phones. Things to avoid. When you're talking about how to leverage technology to convert time to cash or grow your business, leverage is a big word, which means you want to have things that are permanent, and have compounding interest impacts on your business. Now, here's a bunch of items that are not. These are very risky, very gambling, very temporary, and we call them one and done. So, investing in Yelp, Yodel. I can't say how many people I've seen that have invested in Yodel, got issued a phone number from Yodel's database, quit the Yodel service because it doesn't work, and now their brand is tied to a phone number that they don't own forever on the internet. So that can cause a lot of issues. Pay-per-click, one and done. How many of you, when you guys are Googling and you're looking for something for your family, actually click on an ad? And my guess is it's less than 1% of you, and the 1% that are thinking, yeah, I've done that once or twice, it's probably to click on a competitor's ad and charge them $4 a pop. Traditional advertising, people don't want to be advertised to anymore. Templates. You've gotten your website done by what I call the triple Fs, friends, family, and fools. Okay, we want to focus on assets. Your website you own that. That is your baby. That is your sales person. That is you, hopefully on steroids, out there in the marketplace representing your company. Search, SEO, gaining a page one placement so that when a consumer is going to Google, typing in a question, or they're grabbing their phone, they're in their car, they ask Siri, hey Siri, I need an HVAC repair company in Plano or Dallas or wherever the location is. Siri, what's the best HVAC installation company in Dallas, for example? Those are mobile searches. Social, video, and reviews. You guys have a really small group of marketing activities that should produce 90% of your results. So the more diluted your resources and your efforts, the less they're going to work. The more focused you are with focusing on the things that do more of what works. And these things, I promise you, I've got 101 examples of the fact that they work. Now, let's talk websites. From a design standpoint, because this is your number one asset and this is ultimately where people line up. So I'm going to show you a couple of the sites that we've designed for clients, and in your mind, think about your own website and does it have these elements to it? One, when you're looking at it, instantly do you feel like this is a professional company, or does it look like you had your son build your site, for example? Secondly, are there clear calls to actions with the ability to call to click? So if somebody is on this site and they pull it up, and I'll show you, they pull it up on a mobile phone, it does your site. And this is an easy way to see if your site is responsive or works for mobile devices. Just grab the side of it, shrink it over. It should auto change the entire website. It should shapeshift it, but maintain aspect ratio so that you can easily see all of the content on a mobile device. You don't lose the website if you're on a mobile phone. So that's first and foremost. Does it look good, professional, very clean, very clear? When somebody lands on your site, they need to know who you are, what you do, where you do it, and how to reach you. Does your site instantly answer those things? So you'll notice who we are, air care systems. What do we do? Heating, air conditioning, ductless, indoor air quality, residential services, commercial services, and so forth. Where do you do it? Serving East Central Florida and select surrounding areas. And how do I reach you? Bam, bam, bam. Now, you're going to have different buyers that come to your site. You're going to have someone who is an A personality. They're instant decision makers. They're not going to scroll. You don't want them to have to click on any links. If you have all of your locations under your contact us area, or you have a tab that says locations, they're not going to go that far. That personality style, if you're familiar with the DISC assessment, it's a high D, they're drivers, and they are going to make an instant snap decision, and it's got to be easy, really easy for them to reach you, and very, very quickly. Your second buyer persona is going to be someone who is more analytical, and they are researchers. So they're going to into each of your areas. They're the ones that are going to scroll down and they may watch your slides. They may drive into each of the primary areas. In the HVAC environment, sometimes your technical knowledge of your business is actually one of the things that hurt you the most. So I've had thousands of consultations and done thousands of strategy and coaching sessions with HVAC companies. And I love the conversations because, yesterday I had one, and the group, it was all of the management team and a couple of the technicians, they were talking about that they wanted a website, and the second you get to the website, it says what we do. And they were dead set on the fact that what we do is repair, installation, replacement, and maintenance. Repair, installation, maintenance, and that's their business. In a consumer's world, that's not enough. In a consumer's world, I don't know if you're fixing washers and dryers, cars, air conditioning units, or installing a swimming pools. I have no clue. In a consumer's world, it's not HVAC. I just walked in my house and it's 100 degrees in my house. My air conditioner's broke. The only thing that they're concerned about is, do you work on air conditionings? And what brands and manufacturers do you work on? And what can you do? Can you assess the problem? Can you, for me, for example, for the longest I looked for, and I still haven't found in the Dallas area, I want a maintenance program that somebody can take money out of my account every single month. I don't even want to think about it, just like my pest control guys. And they will come out, they will change my air filters, make sure everything is working right, maybe change the batteries in my smoke detectors to do something nice and different. So be creative. What does that maintenance program look like? I want a carefree environment, but the last thing I want to do is what I had to do this summer, which is spend 18 grand on a new air conditioning unit upstairs and downstairs. So again, from a design standpoint, who you are, what you do, where you do it, and how to reach you, first and foremost. Now, your analytical people, you want to give them the ability to drive in and find more information. So we've got each one of the primary services, then it drives into just for you. Preferred members, existing customers, commercial and residential. Client Education Center, you can calculate SARE and so forth to figure out what your savings is going to be if you happen to be in the buying mode, any specials and rebates. I talked to you about reviews, so there's lots of different ways to put that on your site. On this one, we said why our clients love us. Write us a love note. Featured articles, videos, satisfaction surveys, so they use this a lot to get information back as far as their tech's performance. And then contact us, consultation, mobile app, some featured brands and certifications, newsletter, and so forth. And of course, you always want to make sure if you have your trucks wrapped, you want to make sure that those trucks are clear on the site. So just some examples, and you guys are going to have to really figure out when you look at your site, does it look current? Does it look updated? Does it work on a mobile device? Does it have all those elements? Are there clear calls to actions? And calls to actions, most of the time we're driving people directly to a phone number that's at the top of the site. If somebody is Googling from a phone or asking Siri, then they're going to see that phone number, they're going to click to call, they're not even going to make it to your website. So the header area of your site is very, very, very important. And can they connect to you socially? And if they connect to you socially, what are they going to see? So if they run over to your social media account, can you guys generate business on social media? Absolutely. If there are budget limitations, you have to do the bare minimum. The bare minimum is when I come to your social media account, is there a clean and clear professional design? Do you have substantial likes so that it shows that other people trust you? And are you posting content frequently, so other people look at that as you're in business, you're alive, and so forth. I'm going to be able to reach you in a social environment and other people like you. This is simply going to help you increase the amount of conversions that you have. We'll go check out Folks, same thing. Beautiful design, clear calls to actions, a phone number directly on your social media fan page cover, 3,459 likes, and content posted as recent as 15 minutes ago. I love seeing this. Same thing, Dirks, I can go into the exact same thing, very clear calls to actions, what our clients say. We've got a mobile app for direct communications with customers, all of our service areas from an SEO standpoint. additional information for those people who are more analytical. And then finally, at the very bottom, we've got all the things that we need for people that are fence sitters. They don't make decisions quite as quickly and so forth. So with that, there's a lot of things to consider. Being able to identify what are your assets, what are things to avoid, narrow your focus. In 2015 and beyond, getting to a point where you know exactly what works and you do more of what works, it makes it a very, very, very easy decision to identify what do you want to focus on. We're going to wrap up. You guys, this is a 30-minute training. We're going to wrap up with one final thing, and that is, are you tracking your position and placement on Google? I love seeing this. This is an awesome jump. This is an awesome client of ours, but this is an example of having specific key phrases that you are going after and your rank, your positioning. You want to be in that page 1 position for those ranks so that your phone rings. And this is your primary area, not in the pay-per-click area, not over here on the side on your pay-per-click area, but right here in the organic search. This is not that difficult to do. So marketing is really, in a nutshell, about doing the right things in the right order at the right time. You have to change your thinking in order to change your results. So right now in your business, if you find yourself saying, I don't have time to focus on this, this is crazy, I guarantee you, if I took a look at your schedule or looked at your day or listened to the phone conversations you're having throughout the day, my guess is you're spending your time doing the same things over and over and over again. Things that are manual, things that are inefficient, things that are repetitive. So it might be answering the same question continuously over and over and over again, whereas if you digitize that question and answer, it could reach more people and work for you while you do something else. I see a lot of HVAC companies that are spending time grabbing leads out of their email accounts and then having to later manually data put them into another system, or they're not tracking them at all. Tons of inefficiencies. So remember, when it comes to outlining your digital marketing or your digital strategy, it's got to be a very, very clear balance between the operational efficiencies of the business and the marketing strategies of the business. The more you focus on how do we improve operational enhancements within our organization in order to duplicate content and things that work, replicate information and our sales team, our best salespeople, and the information that they share, automate things that are maybe having more of a manual process right now. I want to get highly, highly efficient from the operational standpoint, and what that's going to do is it's going to free you up time to spend on high leverage activities that are cash flow generating activities, revenue generating activities, lead generation activities, and so forth. So with that, we are wrapping up. This is kind of the end of the hour. As you see, I probably have 600 slides and pieces of information I can share with you, but I'm going to leave you with this. This is a 12-month series. So if you have not registered yet, definitely get registered so that you can get the video recap. So once this video is finally produced, we'll send all of you that attended and registered. So even if you miss one of the trainings, you can still get the videos as long as you're registered. You can easily do that by going to 12steproadmap.com. And as soon as you get to the top of the site, you'll see sign up right here. Just click on that. All of the HVAC trainings will be posted here, so if you miss one and you want to go back and check out the archives, you can do that. Of course, we've got webinars for every business. You can check out those as well. Next thing to do, go to CIHVAC.com. CIHVAC.com. If you don't have a listing on our directory, thanks to, again, USG, RAL, SNA, Amana, Goodman, and Daikin. These guys have supported and are taking care of getting you guys a listing on CIHVAC. So you can just click the HVAC contractor sign up. It's going to give you a listing in the directory. As you saw when I was looking at for a As you saw, I was looking for oil to gas conversions and wrappingers. This company happens to be on we've done their website, they're on our SEO plan, plus they're listed in CI HVAC, and you'll notice we're able to really bump out the majority of competition out of those spaces by leveraging each one of those sites. So definitely head over here, get your listing set up. Once you get your listing set up, you'll get an email from the team that makes sure you register for training. You will also get, so look at this West Coast. What happened over here? But okay, so you'll also get an opportunity if you're interested in having a strategy session with me specifically to really dive in, take a look at what you've got, where you're going, where you want to be, and how to get there. I would be happy to do that. So make sure that if someone reaches out to you and makes that offer, it's worth your time to go through and have a one-on-one strategy session and really focus on what are the things that can bring the kind of growth that you want to your business. With that, you guys, I appreciate you very, very much. If you want to take a look at other designs, you can do that by going to CI Web Group and simply click on blog, and you can go look at everything HVAC and so forth. With that, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. And our next training will be next month. You can see it on the calendar. If you have a special group or audience you want us to do a presentation for, we'd be happy to do that as well. Thanks again, and we will see you on the next session. Appreciate you.